Today we are going to be talking about a few ways to show up and make impact. And I think a lot of times people get hung up on the business and the business only, right? I'm a very business oriented person. So I talk a lot about business, right? And I love it. It helps me thrive as a human being and grow. And so I have multiple businesses. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And so I find a lot of joy and fulfillment in growing businesses, starting businesses, helping people, all of the things. And so I want to focus on that, but then I also want to focus on some things outside of that. And I want to talk about a few ways that you and I can really help and make impact right now. Okay. That's important, that just because you are not starting your business in care right at this very moment, that does not mean that you cannot make impact. And so I want to talk to you guys about that today. And I want to go into it a little bit more. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ariana J. I help men and women who want to make a passion or who have a passion for care. I help them start, grow, and scale their licensed assisted living, group home, or community rehab businesses and build wealth through care. So that's what I do. I'm all about making impact. I'm all about people first, then money, and then things always. And so if you're new to my world, you will hear me say that a lot. Like, I'm about the people first. And so that's what I'm about. So if you are joining us live, I'm glad you're here. And if you're watching the replay, #replay, that's how we do it, or impact. Okay. Let's talk about a few ways we can make impact. And the problem that I see a lot of people making when they want to make impact, but they only look at it in a limited view, right? A lot of you who are in this group are ones to want to get your business started, want to make money, want to build wealth through care. And I'm all for that. Absolutely. But I want to talk about some ways that we can help and serve our community, because that's what we're about too, outside of just business, right? So a few years ago, this was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago at this point, one of my friends talked to me about something that she does with her family. And I just thought it was the most neatest thing in the world. And I felt so touched that she was doing that. And I kind of at the time didn't realize how impactful that was. This same person was somebody who told me that they could never provide care. Like, I could never do that. Like, thank God you're here and doing that, because I can never do it. And even though I kind of discredited that as far as like, well, that's a shitty thing to say, I always have to look at what people's abilities are, what they're capable of, right? And some people, they're really not capable of providing long-term care. But what this lady was doing, what my friend was doing, and she still does it to this day, is on Thanksgiving, her family does not do this giant big meal. They don't do any of that. What they do is they go down to the shelter and they serve. You know, that's a way of making impact. And I'm not saying that you have to go and do this by any means. But what I am saying is that this is a way that she is able to serve her community outside of, you know, opening up in a licensed assisted living home, group home, or community rehab business. She has no desire to do that. Absolutely none. But yet she's still making impact. Is it on a certain day of the year? Yes. Do we providers provide care all the time? Yes, we do. But that is still impact to her community. And that's something that I don't want to discredit. I don't want to discredit anyone who is doing that. And that's at a bigger scale, right? She's giving up her whole Thanksgiving tradition to go down to the shelter and to prepare meals and to socialize. Not only does she do it, but her children do it too. Now, my children are too young to bring out to the shelters. I wouldn't do that. Hey, Stella, glad you're live. I wouldn't necessarily do that for my situation. But what I am saying is that just because you are not getting your business started like right now, today, right, doesn't mean that you can go or you can't go and make powerful, positive impact within your local community, right? I see some of you here are new members of the Startup Provider Program. Hey, Phoenicia, I'm glad you're here. You see how that rolled off the tongue, lady? That rolled off pretty quick and smooth, because I always have a hard time saying your name. But I have a couple of the new members here that are in the Startup Provider Program, and although their business is not up and started just yet, they still have the heart to make impact, right? And so, my notifications aren't off. And so I just want like you guys to start thinking of different ways. One of the ways that I like to give back is I like to give back with my money. I like to donate to charities. I like to donate to causes. I like to do this thing where we gift wrap gifts. Of course you gift wrap them, but we give gifts to the youth that are in foster care, because foster parents, sometimes they're not able to provide all of these different gifts. Sometimes the youth, they don't get gifts from their family. And so we like to gift, right? I also want to be a part of an organization that I'm actually looking for. I want to give to an organization. So if you guys know of any organizations, I want to give to an organization that helps foster parents with respite. Like, that to me is a huge gift. I want to be able to give my money to help pay for caregivers, to give respite to foster parents, because what happens is you get burnout and all of these crazy things start happening to the caregiver themselves and then to the environment, to the youth that they serve, and we want to prevent that, right? So those are some things that and if you guys know of any charity, like definitely like pop it in the group, because I really am looking for that. There's not really much that is specific to foster parents, but just you guys get the drift, right? You guys get what I'm saying. It says, I serve at our local homeless dinner every month. I used to go to the nursing homes, but also before COVID. Yes, I used to. That is so good. That is so good. Like I used to go down to the, it wasn't the shelter, but it was like the dining hall. Beans Cafe is what it's called here. And I used to serve. I would do this about every 6 weeks, and I would get a group of friends together and we would all go down and we would serve and we would have such a good time. Everybody feels so good. We're able to serve and talk to some of the folks who are coming up to get food, asking them what they're going to do for their holidays, and they're just so grateful, and just to make those touch points and to the community, right? We have the teens in the shelter here. It's called the Covenant House, right? And they need help too, right? There's an event here. What is it called? I forget the name of the event. I personally, this event's not for me. I'm not staying outside in the wintertime in Alaska, but the whole point is for the people to know what these homeless youth go through. And so I had a friend who did it. I think she did it last year, or she did it in 2019, one of the two, because COVID's been around, right? So we haven't done all the things, but she went and she stayed overnight outside in the winter. Like, these are things that we can do to give back. Now, I'm not asking anybody to do that, right? I'm not asking anybody to do that, but I am asking you to start making impact now, right? If you can donate $10 or $15 or $20 to a cause, or you can show up and you can serve in any way. It's our duty to do that, right? It's our humane right to be cared for by our community. Now, I'm not about always supporting people who won't support themselves, right? There's a fine line with that. But when you are acting of service, when you are serving and you are making impact, that's what I'm talking about. So over this holiday season, for individuals who we care for and individuals who are out in the community, the holiday season is a very, 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 very hard time. Even for the youth in care, for the individuals in care, for the individuals in my care, for my agency, it is a harder time, right? And so what ways, brainstorm some ways, look on Google. I actually did a quick search, and there was several things that came up of how you can serve this holiday season, how you can give back. And I don't want to make it like this is about the holiday season alone. This is not about that. This is about making impact, right? So this is about making impact. So whether it's being generous with gifts and charity, that's a thing. Let's see, serving a free meal, hosting a holiday food drive, that's always awesome. Donating warm clothes. This is a time of year where you can actually go through your winter clothes, see what's too small, or, stuff that you don't want to wear anymore. It's not trendy, or even your kids' clothes, go through them and give those. That's a way to make impact. They have on here, buy someone dinner, donate warm clothes, volunteer at a homeless shelter. So there are so many different ways that you can give back and you can make impact. And it doesn't even have to be these things, right? It can be something that you've thought of, whether it's volunteering at a church or a youth group or something along those lines. There are so many different ways to give back. And a small gift from you or a small act of service from you can go a long way with somebody in need, or somebody who, is grieving the loss of a loved one, right? They may have had a loved one pass away, and now holidays for them are so incredibly hard, right? And so inviting them over to your home, having them over to spend the holidays with you, that's another way you can make impact. Impact doesn't have to be on a grandiose scale, right? It doesn't have to be on a grandiose scale. It can be on a very small scale. And I know I talk about, like I said, the money and the growth and the business, and I talk about all of that a lot because it's very important. It's very important, but it's also super, super important to come back to the basics and to look at what impact really is, right? It doesn't have to be defined as opening up your licensed assisted living group home or community hab business. It doesn't have to be defined as that. It can be defined as what you want it to be. And I want us to start to get in the mindset of doing acts of service. And a lot of you are. I'm sure a lot of you are. So serving your community feels good. Serving your community in the way you want to serve feels good, right? When you're just doing something because somebody else says to do it, that doesn't necessarily feel good and it's not authentic. And so I don't want you to ever do that, right? But what I am saying is find something that feels good to you and the way that you can serve that feels good and aligned to you, and do that. It could be as simple as I like to gift with money, right? I don't have a lot of time to gift these days. And so if I can put my money behind something or somebody, I will do that, right? I've just found it to be very beneficial. I found it to be able to bless someone, and I feel that God has given me the means so I can bless other people. And that's just how I've been that way. And so I just want to be able to talk to you guys about that too. And I don't know if there's any influence over here. I don't consider myself an influencer, but if that is something that lands well and sits good with you guys, I would really encourage you to do that because you will feel great about it. And they have at our local grocer, they have like you can donate an actual meal to a family, right? That's something too. We have, is it the Beans Cafe here? Or the soup kitchen. I don't remember what it's called here, but they have it to where you can actually go and you can serve families, right? They have is it the Beans? I don't know I think the one downtown here is called the Beans Cafe, but it's the food bank. It's a food bank where you go and you can actually serve whole families, and they come in and they can actually sit down for a meal and you're actually serving them. I know a lot of churches do this too. So if you're part of a church or organization, definitely sign up to serve if you feel called, right? If you feel called, but this can go beyond. I know they have at the Office of Children's Services here, they have volunteers that can come in and they can sit with youth who are visiting with their families. So some youth aren't able to visit as often as they should, right? If the circumstance is right, because, there's not enough volunteers to sit and monitor their family. So you can sign up to do that, to sit while the youth volunteers with the family. There are a lot of senior living homes where you can go and like bigger facilities. I don't know if the smaller ones are allowing people to come in, but you can go and play games with the seniors. They love that. Or a day center. You can go into a day center and ask the same thing and volunteer your time. I had somebody contact me it was like 3 weeks ago, maybe now, 4 weeks ago. They contacted me and they asked if they could volunteer with my company. And I contacted them, but I didn't follow through with it because of my trip and all these things that were coming up. But even that, and this person who contacted me they were in high school. I think they were in 10th grade. So that's amazing that individual was starting from that young age of giving and showing up and making an impact. And so that's what I encourage us to all do, to be beacons of light and to go out and to show people that we care, right? And to make an impact in any way that we can possibly do that. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be on a big scale. I don't think I announced the winner yet. Did I announce the winner? Tell me if I announced the winner. That's how bad my brain is. I'm excited to share with you guys who the winner is. Tell me in the comments. I feel so bad. Like I came on here all excited to announce the winner and I don't think I even said it. Oh my goodness. Tell me in the comments if I said who the winner was yet. That's bad, isn't it? That is so bad. Tennille Waller is the winner. She is the winner. So Tennille, if you are out there, you did say my name. No, Phoenicia. No. You are not the winner, my friend. I did not pick it. I did not say you were. So what happened is that I put all the names into an automatic. I'm so sorry. I can't even believe I had to do it like that. I put all of the names into an automatic drawing thing. And so it picked the name and it was Tennille Waller. So Tennille, if you are out there, I'll send you an email too. You won the Voxer coaching session with me. I'm super excited to get you on board and get you scheduled for your call. It's going to be a jam-packed hour. Let me tell you guys a little bit about how the Voxer coaching session works, how I coach on Voxer. So what Voxer is, it's this little app. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's this little app and it acts as like a walkie-talkie. And so I am able to talk on here to different people. Where's the camera? And we are able to, let me see, leave like some messages. We can leave audio messages. We can send video messages, etc. And it's a cool way. You can listen to me live. You can respond to me live. And it's a cool way to coach. The reason why I like using Voxer is if you're asking me a question and I say, hey, why don't you go over and look at this or that? You can literally go over and do said thing and give me the feedback and I can support you right then and there, right? It's different from when you're on a Zoom coaching session and we're having this session, 30-minute session, hour session, and then you get off of the session and then you have to go do said task, right? So there are Voxing coaching hours, there's a Voxer day, there's a Voxer week, there's a 30-day Voxer package. So I'll be rolling those out soon, but they're really, really nice, you guys. You literally have somebody in your back pocket and you can literally tap in and listen to them live. It's a private conversation. And so I'm really excited to work with Tennille and to get whatever questions she has answered and work with her on any strategy or anything that she needs. So Tennille Waller, if you're watching live, congratulations. I'm really excited about it. And thank you so much for leaving the review. For all of the folks who came out to the podcast and left me a review, I appreciate you guys so much. You definitely help with the algorithm. Excuse me, I can't even talk. And then you also helped with other people to know what the podcast is about, right? And so reviews are important. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you that left a positive review on the podcast, and I was reading them and I was like, wow, like this is so awesome. I'm glad you guys are finding so much value in the podcast. because that's so important. I'm super excited. I'll probably go on my Facebook page and announce it again over there too, because they don't get to see these lives. So if you guys aren't friends with me yet, go ahead and send me a friends request or follow me, and I will be over there on that as soon as I get off of this live. And then we have the Starter Provider Program group coaching call at, 3 p.m. Pacific. So 2 p.m. my time, 3 p.m. Pacific. That's where I will be at. I'm so excited for all of the new members here in the group. The group is just growing. It's growing organically, and it's by word of mouth. Another way you guys can make impact is by helping other providers. I forgot to mention that. So if you guys want to share this group, talk about the podcast, talk about some of the wonderful things that we're doing and we're sharing that are absolutely free, definitely do that. It's serving somebody else. There are other people who are trying to build their business too and trying to get started too, right? And they are not able to do so because they're kind of in that situation where they're stuck. So bless them with this information that's free, right? Show them the group, share the podcast with them, and so that they can, hear some of the greatness that you guys are hearing and partaking in that, so they can show up and make powerful, positive impact too. All right, my friends. Well, that is it for now. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for rocking with me. I appreciate hanging with you guys as always, and I will chat with you guys soon. Okay. Bye.